In this video, I'm going to talk about what do we do when we have a fraction times a variable when we're solving an equation. So if we have 2/3 y equals 4/5, 2/3 y means 2/3 times y. So I'm going to go ahead and draw our line to separate the two sides of our equation just to help us out. So if we have 2/3 times y, to undo times 2/3, we would divide by 2/3. Well, dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal of that fraction. So instead of showing that I'm going to divide by 2/3 on both sides, I'm actually just going to jump right to multiplying by the reciprocal, because the goal is to get the y by itself, and when we're multiplying, we want it to be 1 times y to move that fraction to the other side. And so multiplying 2/3 times its reciprocal will give us 1. So I'm going to multiply times 3/2 because that's the reciprocal of 2/3. And I'm going to multiply by 3/2 on the other side too to keep the equation balanced. So 3/2 times 2/3, we could do some cross simplifying here. The 3's go to 1, the 2's go to 1, so we're left with just y on the left hand side. And then 4/5 times 3/2, well, we multiply the numerators. So we would have 4 times 3 is 12, and we multiply the denominators. 5 times 2 is 10. Now I have what we could call an improper fraction, or just a fraction form. The numerator is greater than the denominator. So I could change this into a mixed number, but I'm going to leave it like this because it's going to make my check easier. But we could simplify this fraction to 6/5 if we wanted to. So that's my answer right now, but now I'm going to check it. So I have 2/3 times y equals 4/5. I'm going to replace my 2/3. I'm going to use the more simplified fraction. So I'm going to do 2/3 times 6/5 equals 4/5. Okay, now I'm going to multiply. So 2 times 6 is 12, and 3 times 5 is 15. Now, those don't look the same, so we have to ask ourselves, is our answer correct? Well, 12/15, if I divide both 12 and 15 by 3, I can simplify this fraction, and 12 divided by 3 is 4, 15 divided by 3 is 5, so 12/15 is actually equivalent to 4/5, so that's how we know that our answer was correct.